Greetings. Jay Stone here, Cap and Ball Fanatic Channel. On Christmas Day 2024, I'm shooting one of my new Christmas presents that I got a month ago, and that is my 1847-48 Whitneyville Hartford Dragoon, otherwise known as the Transition Walker, 44 caliber, heavy boy. Woo-wee! Let's see how we do today on the range. We're going to go on the bench, on paper, on steel, and long. Let's see how it goes. Well, it's a beautiful day here for late December in Michigan. Got a little snow on the ground, but you know it's starting to melt. It's going to be beautiful for 4 or 5 days. So here we are out on the range. Today, I'm shooting a brand new acquisition. It is perhaps one of the most sought after original collectors going, and it's the Whitneyville Hartford Dragoon, also known as the Transition Walker. And I'll talk more about it a little bit later. I just received this not too long ago. I've cleaned it up. Because it's a new birdie replica, I have replaced the nipples with slick shot nipples up front. I want to see how this thing shoots as we get started. A lot of you asked me why I don't shoot originally on the bench, so guess what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go right over to the bench. We're going to put 6 on that paper target down there, and we're going to see where this thing shoots from. My original load here, I am shooting 30 grains of 3F Swiss black powder, a 44 caliber lubed wad, and a 457 home cast round ball with Remington number 10 caps. So I'm anxious to see how this thing does. I love my Walker. I love my second model Dragoon. I'm anxious to see if I'm going to like the one that came in between. So let's give it a shot. Okay, we're going to aim at the red dot. A little high and to the right. I don't know where that one is. I'm having trouble seeing through the smoke. All right, let's see if we can't have some fun here. Yeah, we're getting a group now. And we got one more. Looks like a whole mess of them in the same spot. So let's go check it out here and see what we got. So this Whitneyville Hartford Dragoon, as it's sometimes called, and as we now know it as the Transition Walker, was actually the first revolver Colt made in his Hartford factory. This is a transition between the Colt Walker with the 9-inch barrel and the first model Dragoon with the 7.5-inch barrel and the different set of grips. What you see on this is a couple things. One is they shorten the barrel. It's a 7.5-inch barrel, round barrel, with the Dragoon style barrel. It's got the oval bolt stops there. It's got the Walker Slim Jim handle with the curved grip frame. You can see in there so that the Walker style, so that the curved part of the grips fit in there real nicely. It's a nice shooter. They only made about 240 of these things. And Colt actually used the Walker serial numbers after number 1100. So they're really rare and they're really collectible today if you can find them. And these were made originally in either late 1847, but probably mostly early 1848, and they were shipped. And while he was, of course, working on this transition Dragoon as a way of fixing some of the immediate problems of the original Walkers, mainly they wanted it lighter. They wanted it to be closer to what we now know, or what became in 1851 and 1860 as belt pistols, although this thing is still a little heavy for a belt pistol, as are, of course, the Dragoons. So they fixed a few problems and left some of the Walker standard. The other thing that I have to point out is on this transition Dragoon, they went from that Walker loading latch that had a spring, that was spring held at the bottom, and they added the first evidence of a loading latch at the top to hold the ramrod up, and so far it's working pretty well. So again, this is a historical piece made by, this particular replica is made by Uberti. As I said, I've already changed the nipples to see if we could solve some of the inevitable cap problems that we always have on new Ubertis. We had a few on the bench, but that might have been from the angle and the ability to do that. So now I'm going to shoot long, about 32 yards at Big Orange. We'll come back to paper. And now the hard part begins. I have to figure out how I can hold this heavy beast up and see if I can hit something. So let's give it a go. Good thing I practiced, like I told you about in the one-handed shooting video with the Dragoon. So I can hold this thing up there for a minute. So let's count to 3. Last shot. Tight grip. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I think we're in pretty good shape out there. I'm not sure how those target hits would translate to paper, but that was kind of fun. Okay. 6 more, Big Orange. I put the first 6 on it. Might be getting a little tired. Let's try this again. The smoke is just hanging today. Ah! So we shot off the bench at 20 yards. Now we're going to try it offhand at 20 yards and see if I can hold the pistol, this heavy 5-pound gun, before it's loaded, on the point of aim that I figured out on the bench, which is about just 6 o'clock, a little below the red dot. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's go check it out. I see a few holes. 20 yards on paper. We're hitting it. We're hitting it. It was better off the bench. Okay. It's darker. I can't tell. Let's go see. Smoke, fog, something. Let's continue our tradition. We've got the Whitneyville, Hartford, Dragoon, the transition walker from about 50 yards on big yellow. The tradition continues in 2025. We're going to go long. Hopefully, my tradition of actually hitting it continues in 2025. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. We got 4. 5. Hey, hey. 1 more. Let's make this a great day. What do you think? A great day with a new gun that I can barely hold my arm up with. Pow! That, my friends, is a great way to get the year started. You know, the sad part is, I think I shoot better from 50 yards than I do from 20. I don't know what that says about me, but anyways, there you go. All right, let's take this transition walker, this Whitneyville Hartford Dragoon, 1847, 1848, big heavy boy. Let's put it on some small swinging steel and see what we do here. About 17 yards. That's 1. 2. 'We're going to hit this one right here, hopefully. We're going to try to hit the dragon. Ah! And now we're going to try to hit Bigfoot. Bigfoot! Woo! Well, there's a great way to end today's video, hitting Bigfoot right in the backside. Anyways, there you have it. This is our day on the range with my Whitneyville Hartford Dragoon, also known as the Transition Walker, made by Uberti. We changed out the nipples to slick shots, still had a few cap problems, but I can fix some of that. And I've got some slicking up to do with this thing because it's a little crunchy at times. But other than that, it was a fine shooter. You saw us off the bench. You saw us on paper at 20, on steel 2 or 3 different times, and on swinging steel here at the end, where again I nailed Bigfoot. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Hey, we've got more videos coming. Weather permitting, we'll be on the range as often as we can. If not, I've got some things to do that I can do inside. So we'll see you again soon on down the road the next time.